Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I would like to welcome everybody to the 2025 Municipal Forum for the County of St. Paul. My name is Dana Severson, and I'm going to be tonight's moderator. I'm joining you from the Alberta Chambers of Commerce, so thank you for having me. I appreciate it. The St. Paul and District Chamber of Commerce is very pleased to host this forum. It's providing voters with the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates who are seeking your support in the upcoming municipal elections. Our goal tonight is to create a respectful and informative environment where each candidate has equal opportunity to share their vision for St. Paul County. The forum is not a debate. Instead, it's designed to highlight each candidate's priorities and ideas, giving you, the voters, the information you need to make an informed choice. The St. Paul and District Chamber of Commerce respectfully acknowledges it's situated within Treaty 6 territory, homeland of the Métis, Dene, Saulteaux, and Cree people, and part of the trading route and gathering route for other Indigenous nations. On behalf of the St. Paul and District Chamber, I would like to thank Tyler Fodchuk of Crimson Sky Sounds for all of our AV tonight, and also Ideal Carpets and Interiors for sponsoring the video recording, and of course, all of the volunteers that have put in countless hours putting tonight's forum together. If we can have a quick round of applause for them, super appreciate it. So the program will give candidates the opportunity to present their platforms on issues related to municipal government. As your moderator, I will keep a close eye on the content of the candidate presentations. Any comments or questions from submissions of a personal nature will be ruled unacceptable. We're here to give all candidates the opportunity to express their views on municipal issues. All presentations will receive specified times with a warning signal, and when a candidate is running close to, warning signal when the candidate is running close to the end of their time. Our warning signal is in a vibrant green shirt in the center of the room. So he will stand up when you are at your 20-second mark and let you know, and I will interrupt you because I'm a mom of 3 and I totally can. So when your time is up. With that, I'd just like to take a moment to familiarize everyone with the rules of order for the forum tonight. These were communicated to the participating candidates prior to the evening. So in 1, no signs may be brought in or posted in the facility, attached to any walls, doors, etc. The forum was called to order promptly at 7 p.m., and the doors of the room are not closed, but we're going to pretend that they are because it lines up with my script. Anyone arriving late will only be seated between speakers to keep disruptions to a minimum, so just hang tight until we're in between talking. And our goal and rule of thumb is that we're going to adjourn at 9 o'clock tonight. The candidates are seated alphabetically by their ward to the table beside me. I will introduce them in alphabetical order, and then we will be doing questions by ward and by reeves. Due to the high numbers, each council candidate, so each of the councillors for the wards, will have only 1 minute for introductions and opening remarks, and 1 minute for a closing statement. Reeve candidates will be allowed 2 minutes for their opening remarks and 2 minutes for the closing statement. The timer, like I said, will give a 20-second warning and will let us know when we are at the end of the allotted time. No candidate will be allowed more than their allotted time, and no candidate will be permitted to bank time to put towards other questions or statements. The public was invited to submit questions in advance of tonight's forum, so I have those here with me. Volunteers of the Chamber have already gone through these questions to avoid any redundancies. And during the question period, we're going to direct questions to specified wards, and the candidates from those wards will answer and direct them to the reeves, and they will answer, and we'll be rotating the order that the reeves are answering, so no one is always answering first or always answering last. Does that work? And I'll say names, so it's cool. You don't have to keep track. I got it written down. Any person who unreasonably attempts to use the question period as a platform expressing a point of view on any issue will be ruled out of order. So we're going to stick to municipal focus tonight. Question period is going to be limited to 45 minutes, and you guys are so well behaved, I'm not concerned, but if need be, I will have final jurisdiction in all matters. So we'll play nice, it'll be good. Some guidelines for attendees. Please be respectful of the candidates presenting their remarks and everyone else that has taken the time to attend the forum tonight. If there's excessive cheering from supporters during a candidate's remarks and they're unable to speak, they will not get extended time, so let them use their time. And if there's any negative commentary that's preventing any candidate from speaking, I will restart the clock and will allow them their time to provide the remarks. So, be good. You guys are so, I have no worries at all. So I'm going to start by welcoming all the candidates that we have here tonight. So we have, for Reeve candidates, Reginald Lamott, Glenn Okerman, Yvonne Weinmeier, and Kevin Wursta. And for our county council candidates, we have Louise Deschênes, Maxine Fodness, Rob Foote, Chris Habiak, Dale Hendrick, Ross Krakowski, Matt Mallett, Mark Marcoux, James McGonigal, Barry Salstrom, Jeremy Yaremchuk, and Daryl Youngins. Thank you guys for attending tonight. Appreciate it. So we will start with the Reeve candidates and opening statements. Again, everyone from council will have 1 minute to share their opening remarks. Reeves will have 2 minutes. Please speak clearly into the mics, and you'll need to remain seated while speaking because if you notice, the mics are all corded and candy caned up the line there, so you can swivel them to get them closer to where they need to be, but they're going to stay where they are. So I'm going to start by calling upon the candidates for Reeve to share their opening remarks, and we're going to start with Reginald.
Fellow farmers, fellow ratepayers. Not everybody here are farmers, ratepayers. I came here for one sole purpose. I'd like to build a hospital, a county hospital. Why a county hospital? The government of Canada has come out with the capital gains tax, and they want 50%. Farm money. All of us who farmed and had farm money and worked hard to build this, the government of Canada wants 50% of it. So if we take that money and roll that money over into roll that money into a hospital thing, we're going to be doing really well. Lots of farms today will be for sale. I have friends that have paid $1 million in capital gains tax. We're going to take that money and roll it into a foundation. That capital gain thing, we're going to call it the Lamott Foundation or the Jolly Foundation or whatever it is. That money that we have to pay in taxes, we're going to put that into a county hospital. So to start off with the county hospital, my wife is here, right there. We are going to give 10 acres of land. We have a very, very nice spot on the back of our farm on top of a hill. It'll be a wonderful place to build a hospital. So now she is going to give her land 10 acres to build this hospital. And we're on our way, and we should be able to build this hospital. We're going to build the outside of this hospital. Us farmers, all of you guys. We're going to build this hospital. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Glenn?
I'm terrible on a microphone. Can I just go without? Is that fine? Can everybody hear me? No? Okay, I'll try this. Well, good evening, folks. No, I don't have 10 acres of land. My children would skin me if I got rid of 10 acres. They seem to need it all even before I'm gone. But with that, I would like to thank everybody for attending here tonight. Look at the crowd. That's great to see. We're at a great time in life here at County of St. Paul. It's great to see there's lots of concerned people. And a lot of times when people show up, they're just not always concerned. There's support. And you look down the row here, there's lots of wonderful candidates here. So I just want to recognize everybody showing up here. With that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Glenn Ackerman. I got to start by, first of all, let you know my wife's name is Kathy. We've been married for 36 years. 36 years. I'm a father to 5, grandfather to 4, third generational farmer. My grandfather and father farmed in the county of St. Paul. So I think with that there being said, it just shows I'm very, very dedicated to this area. It means everything. We were born, raised here, we recreate here and everything else. And I think that's why I got involved in politics the first place. I wanted to give back and make sure that was there. Well, I was actively farming and raising a business or raising a family. I want to just keep a good, affordable place to live. So that's why I decided for the second time, put my name back in for Reeve. I think I have the experience. You know, I had 15 years experience as a councillor, 4 years in the Reeves chair, and so that's what drives me. That's what really drives me is the people of the county of St. Paul. There's always issues. I'm sure if you're in Bonnyville or Vermilion River, there's issues, but county of St. Paul. That's the shortest 2 minutes I've ever seen.
Thank you very much. Hey, Yvonne?
There we go. Okay, so when I heard 2 minutes, I kind of panicked. So I made some notes because I have a lot to say and I want to make sure I can say it all within that 2 minutes. So I do have notes. I'm well prepared. So good evening, everyone. My name is Yvonne Weinmeier, and thank you all for being here tonight. So wonderful to see so many faces in the room. A little bit about me. I live and work on our family farm north of St. Paul with my husband, Danny. We have raised 3 fabulous children, and we have since been blessed with 2 bonus sons and 3 amazing grandchildren. I've worked in the insurance and risk management industry for over 3 decades. Gosh, that sounds like a long time. Helping families and farmers navigate risks, financial planning and stability, along with protecting lives and properties. My professional background and my leadership roles working alongside municipal, provincial, and federal partners have prepared me to serve as Reeve. I have learned that good governance requires more than just showing up. It demands informed leadership, open communication, accountability, and a commitment to listening. I have seen firsthand that collaboration builds trust, and trust is the foundation of good decision making. I am not seeking a title. I'm seeking the trust of the County of St. Paul. Leadership is not about power or prestige. It's about responsibility. I care deeply about this community, and I am committed to doing what's right with common sense by providing strong and respectful leadership, transparency, and accountability while ensuring that every resident enjoys a good value of life. Our county has great strengths, but we also have some real challenges, and I'm ready to promote our strengths and tackle the challenges head on and move the county forward. My priorities are very clear: fiscal responsibility, open, accountable leadership, provide a safe and thriving community, attracting and retaining the professionals such as healthcare workers, educators, law enforcement, and Crown prosecutors. I am ready to lead with integrity, to listen, and to work for the best interests of all residents. Together we can build a county where families thrive, businesses succeed, and future generations are proud to call the County of St. Paul home.
Thank you, Yvonne. And Kevin.
Well, good evening, everyone. Across this amazing county, people are looking for hope, for leadership that listens, for someone who understands the challenges of rural life. My name is Kevin Wursta, third-generation rancher and lifelong resident of the county with my wife, Janice. Firstly, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the residents of Division 2 for your support over the past 8 years. I am truly honored to have the voice, and today I'm excited to announce running for Reeve. My goal is to represent not only you, but the residents of the County of St. Paul. I find ourselves at a critical juncture. Municipalities face significant challenges from provincial downloading, whether it relates to police, health service, or local matters. It is imperative that we advocate strongly for the community, and the time has come for us to be at the negotiating table, not sidelined. Serving you, the residents of the County of St. Paul, my priority and my commitment is amplifying your voice and decision-making process. We face challenges across the entire county. While it is easy to identify problems, I am here today to ask for your support in finding solutions. Together, we will build a team committed to collaboration and innovation, especially as we prepare for the challenges on the horizon. From adapting to new technology to ensuring community is ready for what is to come. What we need now is a cohesive council, a council that values diverse opinions and works together, leveraging each member's strength to propel this county forward. By doing so, we can create practical solutions that foster prosperity and a thriving community for all. Thank you.
All right, thank you for those opening statements. I'm now going to invite council candidates to share their opening remarks. This is going to be in alphabetical by last name, so it's not going to follow your seated order, but I will give the prompt so we can follow along. We're going to start with Barnabas.
I was born and raised in the County of St. Paul, or very nearby, as parents decided that Lac-La-Biche County was better for us. But moved back, was very much part of the community, very much part of communities outside of the county as well. Have strong ties with neighboring counties, people from all divisions. My goal in running for county councillor is to be the voice for the people. I have no desire to do anything except for bring common sense, transparency, and good leadership to the community. Thank you very much.
And we'll move on to Lewis.
Good evening, residents of Division 6 in the County of St. Paul. My name is Louis Deschênes. It's been a privilege to serve as your counselor. I stand before you to respectfully ask for your support in my re-election. Having lived and raised my family right here in Division 6, I am deeply invested in our community's future. I understand firsthand the unique challenges and the tremendous opportunities we share. This personal connection continues to fuel my dedication to supporting our farmers, small business, community groups, and especially our valued seniors, as well as ensuring we have safe roads and strong schools for everyone in our county. If re-elected, my priorities will remain responsible budgeting, strategic planning, ensuring our county resources are invested wisely and transparently, ongoing support for the MD Foundation, which plays a vital role in providing housing and support for our seniors, and to continue working to try and find solutions to lower insurance costs to our public buildings, community halls, arenas, and vital infrastructure without placing unnecessary burdens on our taxpayers and community. Thank you.
Maxine?
I am Maxine Fodness, and I'm seeking re-election in Division 4. Truth, respect, perseverance, and courage. I stand by strong values and principles that govern my life and my commitment to public service. With a solid understanding of policy to ensure consistency and fairness, I want to make decisions to help improve our community and help it to grow. I'm running to make your lives better. My commitment as your counselor in Division 4 is to set county priorities within the current fiscal landscape that meet the service needs of residents. This means working together by reducing the tax burden for seniors and families while ensuring essential services remain accessible and efficient. I have the political will, the determination, and the commitment to work for the betterment of the whole county, our community.
Good evening. I am Rod Foote, and for the last 13 years, I've had the privilege of calling the County of St. Paul home. I've been around, I grew up in southern Alberta on a farming ranching community, and had extraordinary a number of years in healthcare and within the governance process. I am really looking forward to our election here and seeing all of the faces in the audience here. There's some familiar faces as well. And one of the big things that I would like to bring forward is consultation. In many of my home visits that I've chatted with people, there's a lot of things that people are saying, well, where's the consultation in listening with us in making decisions as a council? So I'd just like to say thank you again for coming this evening.
Chris?
Good evening. I'm Chris Habiuk. I'm a fourth generation Lakeland resident, fourth generation farmer. For the past 11 years, myself, my wife Jessica, and our 3 sons have lived out on our farm just north of Elk Point. I graduated here right from St. Paul Regional High School, went off to NAIT and graduated with my Petroleum Engineering Technology Certificate, which started my career for almost 2 decades in the oil field. I'm the current owner-operator of Pita Pit for the last 7 years. My goals for running for the council would be standing up against wind turbines in order to protect our pristine environment and our people. I'd like to see more transparency and accountability within the council, as well as fiscal responsibility, community growth and support, some crime reduction plans, creating new opportunity for our youth. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Dale Hedrick, Councillor Division 5, running for re-election. I live on the family farm of my great-grand... Hello? Broken. Cut me off already. I'll just speak up. I live on the family farm. My great-grandfather homesteaded in 1911. I've never moved away from the County of St. Paul. I will always be here, and I think actions speak louder than words. If anybody knows me, I am for the people 100%. People all the time when they're campaigning, they'll say we're for the people, we're for the people. They get in, they forget about that. I am not that person, and I am the person that does speak up for all the ratepayers in the County of St. Paul, and thank you for your time.
Ross, where are you sat? Are you by the broken mic?
Testing. No, we're good.
Okay. Feel free.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Ross Krukowski, and it's been an honor to serve as a Division 3 councillor for the last 4 years. I'm proud of how in that time we've kept spending disciplined. We've all faced rising costs and challenges, but remember, you know, it's not government money, it's everyone's money. And I want to keep pushing hard for smart, informed decision making. Find those efficiencies, keep services strong. You know, I've worked to keep local government more open and accessible and to keep our community welcoming, livable, and forward-looking. I grew up here on the family farm, and it shapes my approach. Work hard, be prudent, stay creative, and let's all look out for each other. Community's everything, and that's why we're raising our 5th generation little ones, Arlen and Karis, here too. There's more to do. We need an even more transparent and efficient government that people can actually understand, trust, and have a say in. And we need to keep supporting the long-term prosperity of our farms, businesses, and families. I'd be absolutely honored to keep bringing steady, thoughtful leadership to that work. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, Mark Mallet.
Well, that works. Good evening. I'm Mark Mallet. I'm a father of 8, and we have 11 grandchildren. And I'm a former television reporter with CTV Edmonton back in the days when we had journalism was actually real. And I enjoyed working with entrepreneurs, and that was the focus. I was a business reporter and host. And I want to continue that, to work in building relationship with entrepreneurs so we see more and more people come and fill these empty businesses we see in Elk Point and elsewhere here in St. Paul. The other thing is, and I'm along with Chris in this, we have a real threat in this community, especially Division 1. We're representing 55 families there who are fighting against industrial wind turbines. And as the international courts and science shows, not only do property values drop for us rural people, but there's health effects on animals and human beings. This is all well documented. We're working with the Premier and the municipality to stop this. Thank you.
Marcoux?
Good evening. My name is Mark Marcoux. On October 2025, you put my knowledge and my experience to work for you. I got 45 years of expertise, and it would be my pleasure to serve and represent the citizens of the County of St. Paul and Division 3. My priorities are to control taxes, keep them under cover, find other sources of funding for our county, reduce red tape, which drives up costs, find ways to reduce crime, maybe, repair and rebuild roads and intersections, and keep roads open for modern equipment. I get so many complaints from farmers that can't get through the roads because there's trees in the way or stuff like that. My achievement are I got 2 Red Sea trades, which I got at the age of 40. I was employed in most departments of the county except for the office, and I was on the executive committee for the ladies provincial finals curling in 2023. Thanks.
James?
Fantastic. There we go. Hey, good evening, and thank you for being here. My name is James McGonigal. I was born and raised right here in the county of St. Paul. I have an incredible wife, 3 amazing children, and this is our future in this county. I've been a member of the St. Paul Fire Department for the past 15 years, where I now serve as a captain. Prior to that, I served for 1 year on Ashmont Fire. For the past 10 years, I've owned and operated White Cloud Mechanical, where I work every day with budgets, policies, and efficiencies to keep things running smoothly. I actually ran for council 8 years ago, and I'm sure Maxine can attest, I didn't do well. Since then, I've gained significantly more knowledge, experience, and investment into this community and this role. I promise I'm much more serious with my attempt this time. I'm running because I believe the county deserves leadership that is transparent, financially responsible, and accountable to its residents. I look forward to tonight's discussion on how we can build a stronger County of St. Paul together. Thank you.
Barry?
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chair, fellow candidates. My name is Barry Sahlstrom. I was born and raised in Division 5. In '87, I joined the Canadian Forces and served for 21 years before moving back. I'm a farmer, and I own and operate yard, garden, mower, landscape, and snow removal business that employs 6 to 10 employees throughout the year. Accountability, representation, and transparency is what I'm running on. All right? I'll listen to and respect you, the constituents of Division 5. I'll be professional, respectful, and honest. I am not doing this for a paycheck or wanting to become a full-time or career politician. If elected, I will still be a farmer and a business person. I will work with all the members of the council to deliver the best results for the division and the county as a whole. Good data and will drive consistent results, efficient outcomes, and excellent representation. Thank you.
Jeremy?
Good evening, all. Just want to introduce myself as Jeremy Yaremchuk. I was born and raised in Murnham, Alberta on the family farm, which then I pursued education in environmental and conservation sciences, and then got married and moved home. We did live in town for a bit, and now we've been residents of the county for the last 5 years. During my professional experience, I've been involved as an environmental manager in large-scale pipeline projects from inception to estimating and budgeting to construction and execution. During that time, I've had direct experience managing people, meeting landowners, municipal, provincial, and federal regulators. And with that previous experience, I think I want to be a part of the decision-making and improvement of the existing framework for the current generation, previous generations, and generations to come. Thank you.
And last but not least, Daryl.
Thank you, Thank you, Dana. Thank you also to Aaron and the Chamber for this opportunity. I have learned that, or I've timed myself, and in a minute to get much in, it's going to have to be in point form. I'm Daryl Younghans. I've got 20 years of elected official experience, 5 years as appointed board experience. I was born in Division 2 and a lifelong resident of Division 1. My basic governance strategy is less government, and if you use it, you pay for it. It's your money. You have a right to transparency and to tell you the truth, even if it's not popular. Economic development is so important in our resource dwindling revenue stream that I've had the privilege of being on and part of the inception of STEP, our local economic development consortium, and I had the honor of chairing it the last 4 years. It's being used as a model in other municipalities, and it's crucial that we pursue economic development to attract new businesses. I'm proud that we've, as a county, brought in an incentive from 25 to 100% tax reduction to bring in new businesses. Thank you.
Okay, before we move into the question and answer, the mic that was defunct, are the candidates that need one nearby? Can you access? Oh, it's good now?
It's working now.
Excellent. Karaoke tonight. Woo! That's all I wanted to check to make sure we're on even playing field. Well, thank you very much for all the opening statements. It's wonderful to meet everyone. Once again, in announcing the forum, the St. Paul and District Chamber of Commerce extended an invitation to the public to submit questions ahead of this evening. So if anyone in attendance submitted those questions, thank you very much for being engaged and getting involved. All candidates, regardless of Reeve or Council, will have 1 minute to respond to their question, and the questions will be asked in groups. So the Reeves will all answer in one group, and then each ward will have a question directed at them. Once the 1 minute is up for that, or once the question's up for that group, we'll move on to the next question of the next group. Once everyone that is wanting to respond has been heard, candidates are not required to respond, but you can't bank time for a future question if we have time for additional. Make sense? Good to go? Okay, well, we'll start with the Reeves. We're going to begin with Glenn. So I'll ask the question each time just so that you can have a refresh as needed. So the question to the Reeves is, transparency in government is a common theme between candidates. In your view, what does transparency mean in practice, and do you believe the current council has met that standard?
Yes. Are we on there? Yeah, thank you for the question. That's a great question. In the last 4 years, we did hear about it more, but I don't know if anybody's been aware. There was a survey done and come out here in the last while on transparency. County of St. Paul ranked #1 of going in the least amount in camera, and everything's discussed out in the open. We discuss it. Motions are made. They're very clear motions towards what roll number it is, if it's taxes or whatever else. There's certain times we have to go on camera, if it's financial or personal, but I think it needs to be discussed in front of the public. There's nothing to hide, and this whole council has supported it. It's been great, and I think the farther we go along, the better it becomes. So I think transparency, I heard that before. It seems like a theme, and I don't know what more they want. If that doesn't cut it, we'll ask any question you want. I know we're always willing to give the answers. There's nothing to hide.
Okay, do you want me to repeat the question, Vaughn? No, you got it. Okay.
Okay, I have to somewhat disagree. I think that there is a lot of discussions that do have to happen in camera. I agree with that fully. There's FOIP issues, there's privacy issues. I understand that, but I think from my understanding and my communications with the folks that I've interacted with is they want to see those meetings. They want to see who's making those decisions. What is the rationale behind those decisions? And I think that's right. It's it's the taxpayer money that we're using, and I think there should be more transparency. Open communication. It should be a two-way door. It's an open door either way, and that information needs to be. It's not just should be shared. It's necessary to be shared. And as far as accountability, I think there is a lack of accountability across the entire county. So council are not experts. We're not expected to be experts. We should have people in the roles that are experts, and we should be able to rely on those people to inform us so that we can make educated decisions in front of camera.
Thank you. Kevin, did you need the question? You're good? Golden? Excellent.
I'll just add a comment here that people want a local government that they can trust and being transparent and are approachable. Accountability also means fairness, whether you're a farmer, a business, a newcomer, or a resident. Leadership isn't about politics, it's about the people.
Thank you. Yes, Reginald.
Folks, listen. What Mr. Ackerman said, I'll take that for his word. He's really good at it. There you are, Mr. Ackerman.
Thank you, Red.
Very much. We're going to move on to Ward 1 candidates. So again, 1 minute to respond, and I can repeat the question as needed, so just let me know. So for Ward 1, we're going to start with Mike. What are you hearing most from residents, and how will you make sure those voices are reflected in council decisions? Mike. Oh. We're just going to not do that. I thought it looked really weird for a second. Sorry. Then we're going to go to Jerry. Thanks, Mike. We're going to go to Jerry. Jerry. Oh, my goodness. This list went sideways quickly. I know we have at least 2 Marks. Mark in the room. Okay. Apologies. Mark, what are you hearing most from residents, and how will you make sure those voices are reflected in council decisions?
Well, in my division, I'm representing 55 families again who are fighting. They don't want industrial wind turbines 1/5 of a kilometer high right next to their farms and houses. That's the biggest concern. It's an existential concern. They don't want to lose their property values, their homes. This is huge, and we can't sacrifice that for tax dollars, the people who've been their generational farms. The other concern, of course, is accountability, and we're just hearing about this. A council that's accountable, people who, if you're a councillor, you've signed up for a meeting that you're there. And I think a councillor who will listen and who is there to serve. I mean, it's called public service for a reason. And I think we've lost that in politics. People who hear, look like they hear, but they're not really hearing. And we need to have people who are willing to take the concerns to the council and represent them.
Thank you. And Daryl?
Yeah, I'm hearing things just a little different than Mark. Taxes seems to be the biggest thing that we hear about consistently. Of course, it's a struggle. Over the last 4 years, some of the increases in prices for us to try and balance a budget. I'll just give you an example. 4 years ago, a fire truck was $440,000. They're now $880,000, and we had to buy 3. It's hard to do without raising taxes, and raising taxes on farmland, it's hard enough to keep seniors in their homes without raising taxes too much, but we need to find new sources of tax revenue. I have heard also of talk of raising taxes or the mill rate on farmland. Ask your candidates when they come around where they stand on that. Thank you.
Okay, and we are now going to ask for ward number 2, which is Chris, who is here. Excellent. What role should the council play in large energy project approvals, such as renewable energy or pipeline projects?
Well, the council should play a very large role in that. I know it serves the greater province, but the council represents the area, and they're going to set forth their vision, the people's vision, on the area and what that looks like. So it's of an utmost importance that they are involved with pipeline and renewable energy. Their voice should be one of the largest voices in the room as they represent the people that are going to be affected by it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to circle back to the Reeve candidates. We're going to start with Vaughn. How would you prioritize spending if the budget is limited but multiple important projects need funding?
Well, isn't that the question of the year? How do you balance budgets? Well, you have to break it apart. You need to decide what your priorities are, what is best for the entire county, and know what the value of the assets that you have in hand and the projects that you have coming forward. You need to plan for the future, not just for today. And it's really important that we get the feedback from the residents on what they want to see that's actually going to happen. We have protocol in place to determine what roads get fixed first. There are priorities in place. We need to follow those priorities. If there's bylaws set, we need to follow them. If they're not accurate, then we need to replace them. Simple as that. We need to determine what the value is and make sure that it's best for the entire county. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin, same question?
Sorry?
For Kevin?
Can I answer this one?
You will, but Kevin's going right now. This is where the momming comes in. I got this. You will be able to as well, you bet.
Partnership in small communities. It entails growth. I believe the county should work closely with the chambers, the schools, local industries, connect with young people and local jobs. Keep our talent here. We should encourage collaboration between farmers, suppliers, local businesses, so more of our dollars stay within town and the county. Regionally, we need to work with neighbors, provincially, municipality, to attract investment and strengthen trade opportunities. The stronger our community, the stronger our businesses, and the less taxes we'll end up.
Yes. So it's Reginald next, and then we'll close off with you on this one. You bet. So Reginald,
You're up.
you're up. How would you prioritize spending if the budget is limited but multiple important projects need funding? How would you prioritize spending if the budget is limited but multiple important projects need funding?
A very good question. Folks, listen, I have no experience. I'm not going to go and promise you all kinds of things that we can't deliver. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Glenn.
Yeah, well, budgeting, I do have quite a bit of experience with, and I'm not saying it's a passion of mine, but you know, to run our municipality, we need good budgets. We need to stay on track. There is priorities, but one thing I'd like to see more focus coming on is the youth, and it's been a troublesome for our municipality and the town and the region. We need something for the youth to build. You know, we talk rec centers, whether it's a multi-complex or whatever else. There needs to be some budget and some big time plans and thinking. So there's something to keep the youth here. I think it's possible. I think we need to put our heads together. And again, it comes right back to a budgeting thing. If there's a will and a desire and we budget for it, I think it can come to fruition. So that's budgets is very important.
Perfect timing. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move to the councillor candidates for ward number 3. I'm going to start with Barnabas. The question is, the County Council recently decided to cut a certain amount of funding from the St. Paul Municipal Library. Was this a fair decision, and do you believe the county contributes a fair budget towards shared facilities?
So, going back hundreds of years, everything repeats itself. History is key. People need to understand what has happened to prevent it from happening again. And unfortunately, the times are changing and everything's going digital, and you can find everything you need on the internet. But written literature has been vetted and tried by peers before it's published, whereas the internet, anybody can put anything on. So the municipal library is important, and I think that it should remain a cornerstone of the community. Thank you.
Rob?
Actually, the municipal library is actually very important. In some of my conversations that I've had with residents in Division 3, this was actually a topic that came up. One of the big things is understanding the use of the library, whether that is town and county residents. And when funding is tied to use, you know, if there is a larger use group coming from county residents versus town residents, you know, the county should actually be supporting that as well. Again, like Barnabas had said, libraries are a cornerstone to the communities, and they provide a valuable resource, not only for individuals looking just for recreation, but for even research. Our library networks are very important because they actually support each other across the province. So if there's a book in one library that is requested here in this library, they do the inter-facility changes. So it is a hugely important resource in our community.
Thank you. Ross?
Hey, not sure what to say. I think most people here know my perspective on this one. I'm on the record for being very strongly in support of the library and very against cutting funding to the library. As the other two candidates for this division have expressed, the library is absolutely a cornerstone of our community. It's not just a place where you take out books, but it's a place where it supports community, it builds community, it interacts with other organizations in the community. It is a really important public space. And I think public spaces are essential for community building, whatever segment of the community that you're in. So absolutely, we should be supporting organizations that contribute to community growth, contribute to community prosperity.
And Mark?
Yeah, Ross, I agree with you 100%. The library is a big thing for rural people. Like, some people don't have access to the internet, or seniors get books delivered, I heard, to Sunnyside and stuff like that. Like, this funding should be restored, and that's all there is to it, and that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to candidates that are in Ward number 4, starting off with Maxine. What is your vision for the county's economic development, and how will you balance attracting new investment while supporting small business and farms?
Many of you, excuse me, many of you may not be aware, but we do have STEP, which is a regional economic development between St. Paul, the county, and Elk Point. And there's studies happening to see what businesses are viable to bring into the county, the town, and Elk Point as well. We need more industry, we need more commercial. We can talk about recreational facilities, but without jobs, people don't have a place to work, and young families don't have a place to come to. So we really need to encourage development through less red tape and better efficiencies in giving out development permits.
Thank you. Okay, James?
Well, as a business owner that's been through several permit development processes, I can say, you know, an initial factor that we have with getting businesses into this region is red tape. Exactly what Maxine said. We need to start cutting some red tape so that we can streamline getting businesses in. I also wish my wife was still here to hear this, because she's right on one thing. It's not the men that make those decisions about where we're going to move and what we're going to do with our business. It's our wives. If our families do not have anything to do, anywhere to go, anything to invest their time in, they're going to want to keep our families where they are and not move and make new choices and make new ventures. So I think the biggest thing we need to do as a county and as a town is start making sure that we have attractive opportunities for not just businesses, but for the families that come with them.
Thank you. And Jeremy?
Yeah, not to be too repetitive here. As Maxine said, there are plenty of programs that exist already to try promote that economic value commercially through tourism. I think what I would like to see happen is a tighter relationship between the county and the town regarding new business and build on that partnership alone. So whether that's similar, tax benefits maybe for new businesses coming in. St. Paul's a big community for saying support local, but I don't know if we've really seen that. And I think a large part of that stems between that relationship that we could probably refine and improve between county and town. You can't have the town without the county or the county without the town. Thank you.
So we're going to go back to the Reeves. We're going to be starting with Kevin. If elected, what are you willing to advocate for from a financial perspective to ensure that our aging rec facilities receive the upgrades required to keep up with the demand of regional user groups?
Well, recreation is vital for both quality of life and attracting families to our communities. We're fortunate to have assets like the Iron Horse Trail, our parks, our community facilities, but we need to keep improving them. I want to work with community groups and municipalities to maintain what we have, while also looking for opportunities to expand recreation in a way that's sustainable and affordable. Strong recreation builds strong communities.
Thank you. Reginald?
If I was elected, well, folks, we want to tell you the truth. You know how it is, politicians, that's how it works, Oh, no, you just pass it up over there. Oh, no, pass it to the next guy. Oh, no, pass it to the third guy. Goes round and round and round. Bert Poulet said it goes 17 times before you get anything done. We want to get it done right away, not tomorrow.
Thank you. Yes, it's totally your turn. Yep, you go, Glenn.
Recreation is huge, and that was my topic earlier. My thoughts are, I don't know if anybody was watching the news earlier this year. The federal government gave $50 or $60 million to hold 6 soccer games in Canada. Like, I think 3 were in Vancouver and 2 or 3 in Toronto. It's an unreal amount. So what I'm saying, we got to get back to supporting the basics. And when I say big brother, I talk to provincial government, federal government. I talk to these national sports teams. These guys make $100 million a year, or big dollars. We develop all their talent. They need to start giving back to these communities where we recreate and everything else. And that's one place to start. Yeah, there's taxation. User fees have to pay some. but it's a major problem in rural Alberta, and I think these here other people have to come to the table: the federal government, provincial government, and plus industry. So that's how I try and recover that.
I think social well-being is the heart of why we survive, why we live in the community that we live in, because we want to be happy here. We want to have activities that keep ourselves, our families, our parents all happy. So everybody wants a rec facility. Trust me, I want one too. However, there's a lot at stake with that, right? So we don't have the industry in our area that some other towns that have amazing facilities have. So we need to reach a little bit deeper. We need to gather stakeholders in the area, try and come up with some resolutions on how we can get something like that into our community, because I know I and many others would love to have it. We need entire community involvement in order to make something like that happen. We have the operational costs of having something like that too. A lot of people don't realize what it's going to cost at the end of the day to maintain that facility. Who's going to maintain it? What is it going to cost us to keep that facility in our community? And as well as something that's sustainable. So we need to make sure that we have something that we have the capacity to fulfill and keep active in that facility. We want to make sure we entertain our kids, our adults, our youth, our seniors, and have a safe place for all of us to live. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to move on to ward number 5, starting with Dale. What role do you believe the county plays in recruiting business and health professionals to our community, and how do we retain these professionals?
Well, like everybody said already, we have the STEP Economic Development Committee for looking for business or whatever, but as far as retaining business, we need the business first. We need business that we need in the area. Like, you got to look around, like in town we have how many liquor stores around. I don't think we need any more of them. I think it's up to the people in the communities, in our community, to look around and see what we need and build that business. Like I know there's no steakhouse around, there's no seafood place around. We need stuff like that. And we have stuff like that. If you build it, they will come. That's the way I think about it. And you just gotta support what we got and hope somebody starts more businesses that we actually need around the area.
May I ask you to repeat the question, please?
Absolutely. What role do you believe the county plays in recruiting business and health professionals to our community, and how do we retain these professionals?
Thank you. So, as the county, we represent our constituents. We want to make sure we're fulfilling what their needs and getting the people in to do the stuff that we needed, doctors, medical professionals and whatnot. That's driven largely in part by economic growth. Economic growth is not just GDP, it's just not the dollars coming in per capita. It also encompasses improvements in health, education, infrastructure, and social well-being. You get to the bigger companies or you get the sponsorship coming in, they're going to help grow the community and be able to support bringing in those additional people that we need just to live here. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. And moving on to ward number 6, Lewis. How would you respond to ratepayer concerns about road maintenance, and do you see any opportunities to reduce the costs associated with road projects and equipment?
Well, to respond to complaints from ratepayers is, as a councillor, all you can do is forward it to your Public Works Department so they could handle it and take it forward, because as a councillor you're not supposed to, or you can't discipline or your workers. Road construction, I know in the county they've moved to, we do have a GIS system where we grade our roads now on a rating of 1 to 5. And we stress on only building the roads that are 5. And with the brushing program that they're using in the winter now for the fencing and that, it's eliminated a lot of cost of building roads that once they're cleaned out and dried, we don't have to anymore. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to swing back to the Reeve candidates. We're going to be starting with Reginald. What role do you believe municipal council should play in supporting vulnerable and marginalized community members, including 2S LGBTQ1A+ individuals, to ensure safe and inclusive spaces in St. Paul and area?
You know, folks, I want to talk about rules and regulations. I shouldn't say this, but this is what I want to tell you. My grandfather came here in 1909, and when he walked from the roadway to his house, he was a free man. And when my father walked from the roadway to his house, he was a free man. And when I got off the school bus and walked from the roadway to the house, I was a free man. And today, when I walk, folks, when I walk from the roadway to my house, there's a rule to go up, and a rule to come down, and a rule to go left, and a rule to go right, and there's no end to rules. And we have to amend the rules. It's got to stop. That's all I have to say.
Glenn?
Yeah, you know what? County St. Paul, like I said, is a great place to be, and it should be a great place to live and raise your families. Everybody, I don't care what nationality you are, what gender you are, or whatever else. I think we just need to embrace people. People are people, and whatever they do in their home life is fine with me. We just need to just make it welcoming. I don't want to pick out one sector and say, oh, I'm going to treat them different than the next. I think we just need to treat everybody like everybody in life wants. Everybody just wants to be treated fair. That's all I want to do. And I think that's just what we need to do, is just treat all people fairly.
And Yvonne?
I'm going to pretty much echo that, Glenn. Honestly, I think everybody's entitled to their beliefs and their religions and their cultures, and I think inclusion is the best word that I can find for it. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what culture you come from, what community you come from, and what your personal beliefs are. I think we just need to embrace that everybody has their choices to make, and we need to support them. We need to be welcoming, and we need to be including everybody that we can in our community, making our community safe for people to live, work, and play. Thank you.
And Kevin?
Well, I don't know how much more I could say on that, but you know, a healthy culture program is wise, and I would also say that we all need to be treated equal. We're all here wanting the same thing, and everybody has a right to do what they please, so I'll leave it at that.
So in the interest of keeping things balanced and fair amongst such a large slate of candidates, this next question is going to be directed at all council candidates, so all 13 of you, and it's going to be answered in last name alphabetical order as opposed to by ward. So I will try and split up the marks and marks. We'll get it sorted. So it's kind of a two-part, and we're going to start with Barnabas. How important do you think intermunicipal collaboration is, and what assets and resources do you think we could share?
Well, I think cooperating with the municipalities around the County of St. Paul is very important. There are a lot of resources and benefits that certain counties have that we do not, and that we have that those counties do not. And moving forward, you cannot base what you have to give or what you have to share on what it's worth to you. You have to present it in a fairness of what is best for the people. And it doesn't matter if you're a certain division, if you're a certain county, if you're a certain province in this great nation, you have to cooperate and you have to listen to the voice of the people wherever they might be from.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Lewis.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Absolutely. How important do you think intermunicipal collaboration is, and what assets and resources do you think we could share?
Well, it's very important, and we do it already. We share County of Two Hills, County of Bonnyville, and Lac La Biche County. Our resources we've shared is, I know, on oiling, capital equipment, and fire trucks so far.
Thank you. And next we'll move on to Maxine.
Intermunicipal collaboration is extremely important. Budgets are tight across our region. A good example of intermunicipal collaboration is the 7 municipalities that participate in the Commission of Evergreen. We have a good working relationship. We run a regional landfill. The cooperation that we have with the town of St. Paul, those assets and resources that we share are mostly dollars based on population and assessment. We have working agreements between the 2 municipalities. There's also an agreement with the town of Elk Point. Going forward, I do believe that people need to start thinking more about a regional government. The cost of running separate municipalities is becoming high, and we could save taxpayers money by becoming a regional.
Thank you. Rob?
Intermunicipal collaboration and cooperation is the key to making stronger communities, not only for towns, villages, hamlets, but the county in general. The more and more collaboration and cooperation you can do in these entities, the stronger voice you have not only in a region, but also at a provincial level. As for resources, what can we share? You'd have to go back and look at the inventories of each one of these communities and what they offer, and you work together to figure out how to deploy those resources, whether that's a road building crew, a paving crew, working together with, water pipelines, whatever that is. There are lots of resources that can be shared amongst all municipalities and partners.
Thank you. And Chris?
Yes, as everyone's already mentioned, very highly important for intermunicipality. I guess before we were more closed off, more small communities. Now travel between the communities is becoming increasing. We have people coming from all other municipalities to ours using our resources, so why not share across everything? Like we mentioned earlier about the assets we have. Obviously, we have a lot of tourism and recreational opportunities here. We could share in with, I know, any big events we have. There's still housing in hotels in Bonnyville. When they come over to here, they use our assets. And I think it's important to communicate with all levels, whether it's the towns, other counties, so that way we're able to cost share and save on money.
Thank you. And Dale?
Intermunicipal collaboration is huge. We have a very good working relationship with the town of St. Paul. I've heard from many people that this is the best working relationship the town and county has ever had working together, which is really good because we both need each other. And also through MuniCorps, it's intermunicipal collaboration because it's a part-9 company owned by all the municipalities along the Iron Horse Trails. We work closely to make sure everything works streamlined along the trail. And then as far as talking to other councillors and stuff and other municipalities, I just talked to 2 councillors today from the Bonnyville County and one from Smoky Lake, because we're constantly back and forth. What's working over there might work here. So we're always back and forth giving each other pointers on what works and what doesn't, and it goes a long ways. Thank you.
Ross?
Hey, great question. Short answer, I think it's everything. It's such an important issue. We have many areas of collaboration. You know, some have been mentioned: evergreen, step, fire, recreation. I think it cuts across many dimensions. This gets to finding fiscal efficiencies. It gets to building community with the facilities and services that we all need. It gets to attracting investments through coordination, harmonization. Evergreen, as Maxine says, you know, there's opportunities there for revenue generation through really effective collaboration. End of the day, I think we're one community, multiple governments, but our vision really has to be collective. I also agree with Maxine. You know, regional government is kind of interesting. It might make sense. Some of us will be out of a job, but I don't mind if that's a good thing for the community. Then that's where we need to go, right? It warrants a lot of discussion.
Thank you. Mark Mellett?
Sorry, it's hard to hear actually back here.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. I love the question. I think for me, I've already done this with this issue of the wind turbines, which it's not the only issue, of course, but working with the chief of Cohewan, with Scott Sear, our MLA, with the mayor of Elk Point, with Nathan Newdorf and with the premier, I've already been doing this. I've already been collaborating with them, and we're all working together on the same page to make sure that this does, as the premier says, we don't build turbines the size of the Calgary Tower in someone's backyard. But that's just one issue. It comes down to relationship. It comes down to listening and talking and dreaming with people, not just being, this isn't just business. It's about building relationship. And I think that's one thing that I've done already in our community, and I look forward to doing that with the new mayor, with the new municipalities that everyone's voting in around us. And that to me is exciting, building relationship and dreaming how we can make this a much more beautiful county.
Thank you. Mark Marco?
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what everybody else said, because it's getting kind of old. There's only one thing I'd like to collaborate with, like the MD of Bonnyville and maybe the County of Lakeland, that all the revenue they make from resources, and maybe we have quite a bit more money to spend here, because MD of Bonnyville has 3 times the money we have and a quarter of the roads. So, I mean, if we could suck down some of that revenue, that wouldn't be such a bad idea. That's all I got. Thanks.
Thank you. James?
Well, I think there's nothing left but to be a broken record, because even Mark took the only original answer that's left. Like it's been said a few times already, we've seen some significant advancement in the relationship between the town and the county over the last, decade for sure. And I think this is just going to continue to grow. And, Ross is right. Some of us might have to sacrifice our positions for the better of the community if we do look at regionalization and a further sharing of resources, positions, and equipment, so that we're not duplicating services 3 times between St. Paul, the county, and Elk Point. This isn't going to be a quick or immediate solution, but it's been said 6 times already, this is a very important topic, collaborating with our neighbors, and we need to do everything we can to continue this.
So, as everyone said, intermunicipal collaboration is absolutely imperative. We have limited resources, limited tax money available, so it's important to share those resources and oftentimes positions between the municipalities as cost-saving opportunities. It's all about teamwork versus silos. Everybody working together to get the same job done and save the taxpayers some money. Economic development is certainly another opportunity to bring larger entities and facilities in regionally. If one part of the region gets something, the other parts are going to be able to potentially get some as well, as there will be spin-offs through support businesses. And again, that'll save us taxes down the road. We'll have a source of revenue coming in for the future.
Yeah, I think intermunicipal collaboration is very important, and I think Dale touched on my thought the best here is I don't think there's anything more important that we could share than knowledge, experience, successes and failures. I'm sure from a personal level we can all think about times where we let pride get in the way and we struggled through some tasks only to find out that a peer maybe had a better way to do it. I'm a big advocate of not reinventing the wheel if it doesn't need to be reinvented. So I think if we're reaching out to peers, competitors between municipalities, chances are someone's been in a similar situation that we might be going through and might have an easier way of doing things, maybe have some advice, right? So I know we're looking at this from an equipment, maybe infrastructure standpoint, but I think knowledge is power. If we can learn lessons from other municipalities, it'd probably help us along the way, get things done a little bit a little easier. Thanks.
And Daryl.
Thank you. Just without repeating, I've covered about 9 things that we already collaborate on, ranging from fire, airports, seniors housing. We also, MD of Bonnyville and Mark, I really like that idea of the revenue from them, but we're doing stuff with Ag Strategy with them. I'm kind of somewhat surprised that the topic of regionalizing the government has come up tonight, but I think that would be, it's a logical step forward, and we've seen it, and I see in the back of the room the father of regionalized government, Ray Daniluk, is here, who was municipal affairs at the time that Lac-La-Biche County formed one government. Thank you. Oh, I got more time, Terry? Just one thing, IDPs and ICFs are due next year, so it's going to take some experienced people at the table to make sure the county residents come first in all of these talks. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we have one question left for the Reeve candidates. We're going to start with Glenn on this one. And it's a bit long, so if you need me to repeat it, absolutely let me. Edmonton has 13 elected officials and 1 CAO representing 1.1 million people. Our region has 19 elected officials and 3 CAOs representing 14,000 people. Even if it removed the Reeve position, would you consider amalgamating the county with the town of St. Paul and Elk Point to save ratepayers of the region? Why or why not?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Absolutely, that's a conversation I have to be had. You know what, I talked about living in the Northeast or County St. Paul, but we're people of all one. And it's not just town of St. Paul, you know, we have Maleg, we have town of Elk Point, everything else. It's a conversation that has to be had. But when they talk about 1 million people, they got to realize they might be grouped in a 2-3 mile area. To get across the county of St. Paul, if you start down the southeast end and you get northeast end and your truck doing 110 kilometers, 100 kilometers an hour, you're an hour 10, an hour 15 minutes. We are very diverse. We don't want to lose representation on that, but we want to save some of our own autonomy. I think as rural people and people of the land, we need some of our autonomy. Can we work together cohesively in things? Absolutely. Could a greater run in the morning in the town and in the county in the afternoon? Yes, we can. But I said we're a little bit different from it.
Thank you. Sorry? Yvonne's next. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that that's definitely worth a conversation. And I'm actually really glad that it got brought up tonight, because I think it is an important thought that we need to look forward to, because we have a very, and it's not an easy conversation, because we have rural residents, we have town residents, we have different bases, different requirements, different needs. Would it reduce a lot of administrative costs and costs for the councils? Absolutely it would, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to have to be an open communication. I think it's about building relationships, finding out what's best for the community, and that includes town and county residents. We need to prioritize our needs over our wants. And we need to find out if it's necessary, is it vital, is it important, and is it in the best interest of all the taxpayers? I think there's lots of conversation that can come around it. I don't know if that's going to be in my time or not, but I do have to say that I do love the relationship that the town and county currently have, and it's nice that they are working together. As far as extra outside municipalities, keeping that relationship open, having that conversation, keeping that open communication open, and knowing that, you know, we're all here to support each other and do the best that we can within the budgets that we do have. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin?
Well, that's a big topic and a can of worms. But I'll tell you, there's 69 rural municipalities in the province of Alberta. And every time we give up an opportunity to speak to the provincial government, we're going to lose our say in the rural. And our rural is very important. And if we give up this rural and give it into the urbans don't have the same perspective as we as the rural. So I think it's very important that we, there is certainly some opportunity to regionalize things, but at the same token, we need to protect our heritage, our agricultural land, and our resources that we have. Because if we don't, someone else will take it. And with that, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and Reginald?
Well, how important is our little towns? Very important, folks. The fire department. Can you imagine? We are in the country. We can't run fire trucks, so we have them in town, and that's very important to all of us. Like Mr. Ackerman said, we need these little places. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. So for the last question of the question period, this is directed to the incumbents of each of the divisions and Reeve. So we'll start with Glenn, and then we'll move down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is one decision or initiative you wish you would have done differently during your term?
I need to think about that one. I guess, you know what? One thing what did disappoint me, or not disappointed, what was heartbreaking, when I was first elected, we're right mid-stride COVID. First elected, come in, and COVID, the shutdown, lockdown was. I've seen the pain and suffering people where there's seniors and parents and grandparents in the hospital, they couldn't go see their kids or go see their dying grandparents or whatever else. That always bothered me. I wish I could have done more during COVID. We've seen the restrictions and everything else, and it was terrible. There's people who graduated, went to school their whole life. We all talk about graduation. We all remember our graduation. There was one group of kids never got to go on stage. That's one thing. I'm not saying I wish I would have did different, but that's one thing that really seems to hurt. There's the COVID restrictions and how it affected this community. There was people, it split families. There's families still not talking because of COVID. That's terrible. You know what, it was a pandemic and we didn't know what to do, and people were scratching at all things. So I guess that's one thing I do regret, or I wish I could have done more and helped the people more, but I didn't know what to do any more than you guys did. So that is one of my regrets.
Thank you. And moving on to Daryl.
I've been sitting here trying to think that through. That's just a strange question. I stand by every decision I've made. It was the best with the information we had at the time, and it was what I believed was best in any of those decisions for the whole county. And I would continue to keep that whole county aspect in every decision that I made going forward. Thank you.
Ross?
Yeah, interesting question. Kind of thinking about it a little bit too. It's kind of in a Darryl camp, but not really in a Darryl camp on that one. So I guess when I was first elected, I pushed pretty hard for having council meetings being recorded, more transparency about, what's the rationale for the policies and bylaws and stuff that we have, because it's not always easy for people to understand. And some success with that, not total success. And I kind of wish I would have just pushed harder and said, hey, no, look, this is good for all of us. This is something that we really, really need to do. It might be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to have everything accessible to the public, but ultimately that's how you make government better. And so I guess I'm going to be pushing really hard for that going forward, regardless of what the rest of council says. Thanks.
Maxine?
Decisions are based on information that the administration brings forward, and we base our decisions on facts that we receive. I have actually maybe two regrets. The one, I would like to see the live stream kept up for a period of time in the County of St. Paul. With the inception of COVID, Zoom meetings began, and we began to live stream, and council made a decision that we would take that down following the meeting. And I think it's important for people that are working to be able to have access to those council meetings and watch the dynamics at the council table and why decisions are made in the manner they are made, and to receive accurate information, not misinformation. The other point that I'd like to make is that I really believe that budget meetings need to be held in the public.
Thank you. Dale?
Yeah, this is a tough question. I don't think I would have changed anything that I've done. There's one thing I'm still very frustrated about is this council had changed about our dust controls, that there's no more oil dust controls they're not doing and just putting down MG30, and the ratepayer has to pay 25%. I wish that I would have fought more, even though I don't think that would have changed anything with this council, that being changed, but that is one thing going forward that I'm still gonna fight for, is to bring back our oil dust controls, because we definitely need them out there in the county, and it's your taxpayers' dollars that are paying for that kind of stuff. And campaigning, that's what most people want, a little bit of oil in front of their place and see a grader every once in a while, and they're happy. Thank you.
Thank you. And Lewis?
Well, this was my first term to say I don't have any regrets on what I voted for or what I stood for. I believe I voted with my conscience. The only, I guess, holdback is when we came into 2021, the government had gave us their 3-year holiday on oil revenue taxes. So it really crippled our county, where we had to cut hard because we didn't have the money to fund it. So that's the only regret I have.
Thank you. So that brings to an end the question period. I want to thank everybody for the engaging conversation, and definitely there were some hard questions in there. So kudos to everybody that submitted those. We're going to move into the closing statements. So I'm going to start with the candidates for Reeve. Just a reminder, you have 2 minutes to provide your closing statement. And then once those are completed, we'll move into the candidates for council. And those are going to go by alphabetical last name, but with a different person starting. So to start with the Reeve candidates, I would like to invite Yvonne to provide her 2-minute closing remarks.
Okay, so yes, I made notes again because I need to be prepared. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. Like I said earlier, wonderful to see all the folks in the room and engaging in the election this year, so that's awesome. I would like to leave you with this. Our county depends on the choices we make today, or October 20th. We can't go backward and we can't stand still and expect progress. Change can be difficult, but with collaboration, transparency, and a shared vision, it will make us stronger. The role is about individual wins, is not about individual wins or personal agendas. Teamwork is built on shared goals and a tone set by effective leadership. When we work together cohesively and collaboratively, the entire county will win. When people feel heard, respected, and confident that their tax dollars are managed wisely, pride in the county will grow. I bring ideas, passion, and commitment, along with an understanding of the responsibility of this role. My vision is to build a better future with integrity, professionalism, and a long-term vision. I will lead by example, I will listen, and I will always work in the best interest of all county residents. It also means safer communities with strong emergency services and crime reduction initiatives. And it means investing in recreation programs for our kids, students, adults, seniors, and showcasing our county as a vibrant and welcoming place. I know challenges will exist, such as financial constraints and responsibilities, government regulations, staff availability, and seasonal limitations. But with a strong, cohesive, and accountable council, I believe that we can meet those challenges and achieve our goals. On Election Day, I respectfully ask for your support and your vote. Together, we can move forward with pride, with progress, and with unity, and build a county that we are all proud to call home. Thank you everyone that made this forum possible. And I have some brochures in the back. Look for my QR code. I'm still open to taking conversations, asking questions, comments. I am responding to all of them, so please feel free to reach out. We didn't get a lot of opportunity tonight, so there's still opportunities to reach out if you have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin?
Well, for 8 years, I worked hard for Division 2 and served on boards locally and provincially. I've always made myself available, listening, whether it's by phone, text, email, or serving pancakes at your community event. I've proven I'm here for the county. I know the challenges we face, but I also see an opportunity to strengthen our infrastructure, manage our resources wisely, support our agriculture, and ensure every family has an opportunity to thrive. As your Reeve, I'll bring proven experience, transparency, and a commitment to work with council, businesses, and residents to keep taxes fair. On October 20th, I ask for your support. Vote Kevin Wursta for Reeve of the County of St. Paul.
Thank you. Reginald?
Why do I want a hospital? I got a little story to tell you. It works like this. 2 years ago, my wife got the ambulance that came to my place. It took 5 minutes to come, so Ackerman is right. Service is good. She brought me to the hospital, and it was Christmas Eve, folks. It was Christmas Eve. I phoned my wife, and I told her to come to the hospital and bring me a down-fill coat. Folks, I put a down-fill coat on to go to bed in the hospital Christmas Eve. How many people, you people here, put a down-fill coat to go to bed Christmas Eve? Folks, I don't think there's insulation in the hospital, so we need a new hospital. So now if you elect me as the Reeve, I will try my best to try and make it better. But this hospital is coming, and regardless if I'm going to be the Reeve or not, we're going to giving that piece of land to build this hospital. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Glenn?
I got it. the last question they asked, what did I regret? I'm sorry I bring this up, but I got to tell you. You know what it was? The first motion as Reeve, when I got elected, would come to the table was all of council take a 10% rollback. My only regret was it should have been a 25% rollback, but 10% was hard enough. But you know what? That's one thing I did regret. I believed, I campaigned on it. I made sure it come to fruition, and that was the first motion come. You know what? Yeah, I do want your support. I think I have the experience. I've been at the table. I respect at the provincial table with right to the premier, to ministers. I'm open. I'm honest. I work great with others. I got at this time, it's a campaign for myself. I want to thank this past council. They've been great to work with. You know what I mean? Did we all agree? No, we didn't agree. Lots of times it was a long ways from being agreed. But they all had the common focus was better for the community. And I think that's some leadership what I brought to them. Different times I know you lead them a bit, get the conversation start, and just back up and watch them. They did great. And like I said, a role as Reeve, I think that is keeping the conversation go, let everybody express their opinions. At the end of the day, there are some maybe people go home who lost a vote or didn't get what they wanted. But we live in a democracy, and it's majority rules, and I made sure that happened every day as is Reeve. I listened to the people. So with that, again, I'm willing to do that for another 4 years. If the people want me to do it, I'm willing to do it, and I'll do it happily with a smile on my face. So thank you for my past support and present support if you can.
Thank you. So I'm now going to invite the council candidates to share their 1-minute closing remarks. We're going to go in alphabetical by last name, but we're going to start with Lewis this time.
Good evening once again. I believe the transparent leadership and calibration and collaboration are key to making Division 6 and the county an even better place to live. If you place your trust in me once again, I promise to continue listening to your needs, advocating for your interests, and making sure every voice is heard. Whether you live on a farm, in a hamlet, on an acreage, a lake lot, or in a senior's residence. Our diversity is our strength, and I remain committed to representing everyone in Division 6 and throughout the county, including our cherished seniors and the organizations that support them. Together, let's continue to build a thriving, inclusive, and forward-thinking Division 6 and county for our families, both now and for generations to come. Thank you.
Maxine?
I would like to thank the Chamber for hosting this forum. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you for caring about the future of our municipality. In times of uncertainty, I bring stability. Running for council is not just about ideas. It's about the experience required to turn those ideas into action. What is the value of experience and the difference it makes? It means listening to residents, making tough decisions, and staying grounded in the values that matter most to the community. Experience isn't about doing the same thing forever. It's about learning from the past so we can do better in the future, effectively combining knowledge with new ideas. I believe our county is a great place to live and raise a family. Let's build our community together.
Rob?
I too would like to thank the St. Paul and District Chambers of Commerce for hosting this forum and all of you attending here this evening. In closing, I have heard from comments and questions that have been posed here today that as a candidate, I have heard you loud and clear. You want a councillor that strives for economic growth, communication, transparency, inclusion, and providing levels of service to our residents in this community in its most cost-effective manner. That is my marching order as a potential councillor for this council. And once again, I thank you for the time here tonight.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone for the opportunity to come speak in front of you today and for you guys coming out to listen to us. I believe I have the experience required to be the next county councillor here for Division 2 with over 7 years of the owner operating of my small business, as well as my several years on different community groups. I'm sitting currently on 3 different boards, holding various positions of president, vice president, and treasurer. I feel like my passion for the community has driven me to seek this council spot, along with your support. I would like to see the changes made to the council and more accountability, more fiscal responsibility, the community growth and support, crime reduction plans, creating opportunities for our youth, keeping them here in this county, and new and improving infrastructure to keep the revenue here as well. Your neighbor, your voice, I would be proud to serve as your Division 2 councillor. Thank you.
Thank you. Dale?
I'm a very strong community-minded guy. I'm on 3 different boards, the Boscombe Hall, Ashmont Ag Society, and I'm the vice president of the Ashmont Legion. I help all of those organizations out as much as I can. And I'm also running for school board trustee in my division as well, and up north for Ashmont School and Maleg School, because that's how focused I am on community, is I want the whole community to do good, not just the county, but our schools and our kids as well. At our Christmas party, Stephen Jeffrey, he was our MC, and he tried to roast the councillors, and the only thing he had on me, he said, Dale, the only thing I could say about him is it's like he's campaigning all the time, but it's just because I'm always out in the community and I always listen to everybody, and I am there to help anybody at any time, and my phone is always on. And like I say, actions speak louder than words, and I believe I have proved that over the last 8 years, and I want to do it for another 4. Thank you very much.
Hey, Ross Krukowski, Division 3. I want to reiterate, like, it's not government money. It's everyone's money. It's all of our money, and so let's be really, really respectful of it. I think we need smart data-based decision making so we can make good long-term investments, and we do need to invest in our community. We want it to be livable, welcoming, prosperous, but we also need to balance that against, hey, we can't just keep jacking up taxes, right? I think fundamentally, this is really, really important. It always starts with listening, right? Then on the transparency piece too, I think we need council meetings recorded, we need voting records public, and people need to understand why government is doing what it's doing if they, oh geez. So I like asking questions. Sometimes people do things because that's just how things are done. It's kind of like folklore. That's not good enough. We want reasons. Often things do have good reasons, sometimes not, and government needs to communicate rationale in a really simple way. If it's good and it's clear, we can trust government. If not, let's fix it. And we also need to be accessible. So 780-614-8295. Call me. Phone's always open.
Anyone else get flashbacks to like an 80s song on that one? Okay, Mark Mallett, please.
Thank you. Yes, I agree with Daryl. Costs are rising. We're all feeling it in our pockets right now. The answer is not taxing you guys further. And it's certainly not, I'm sorry, Daryl, but it's certainly not turning our division and this county into an industrial wind turbine zone. That is not the answer. We've seen from Journey to Ontario to Southern Alberta, if one company gets in, it spreads across the entire region. So how do we get money? How do we do this? Well, the answer is to build relationships, and that's where I'm excited. I'm already doing this. I'm already talking to politicians and businessmen and asking, what can we do with tourism? How do we fill the empty houses in Elk Point and St. Paul? What can we do with tourism? I mean, we're in the Lakeland region. We have beautiful lakes here. What can we do to increase tourism? What can we do to get people to buy local rather than from Amazon? We have to think outside of the box And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm excited to do if I get elected. And so I think that's what we have to do. We have to build relationships and just look forward beyond just 4 years, but long term. Thank you.
Yes, I'll repeat it again. I really feel privileged to. I want to serve, and I want to protect the taxpayers' dollars. I am also saying that this is my 100% full-time job. I'm retired now, and I will concentrate on everybody's issues, and nobody will be left out. If you want to phone me, you can phone me anytime. I'll answer my phone. And if I'm busy, well, I guess I can't answer it, right? But like I said before, this is going to be my full-time job, and I'm going to dedicate every minute of it to County of St. Paul. Thanks.
Thank you. James?
It wasn't until I had several conversations with different ratepayers, other council candidates, and some colleagues that I came up with kind of what my platform really is. It comes down to 3 words: accountability, transparency, and efficiency. Starting with transparency, I think we can all admit we've all made mistakes. I know I sure have. And if you ask the boys in the fire department, I've made some pretty serious ones over the years. But what sets leadership apart from those who are going to fail, who are going to quit, is the ability to learn from their mistakes. Learn and move forward. As we move forward, it's not just about what we as individuals want, but it's what the people of our ward want as a group. We need to show that we can provide value, not cost, welcome anybody regardless of their walk of life. We need forward, future-facing leadership and a fresh approach. My name is James McGonigal for Division 4. Thank you.
Thank you. Barry?
Thank you. I'd like to thank Chamber of Commerce for putting this on tonight, and big thank you to everyone for coming out to listen to us tonight. Hopefully you're taking something away after the evening here. My focus is accountability, representation, and transparency. All those things come into play when it comes down to everything on making decisions, financial responsibilities. I fully believe in data-driven decisions versus opinions. Those are going to be consistent. You're always going to have the same response if you're using the same information all the time. They're the same process. Representing our respective divisions should not be a competition. Should all be about collaboration, clear, concise communication, and using, again, data-driven decision-making and not opinions. It's great to want a lot of things, but at the end of the day, there's only so many tax dollars, and we have to pay for them. We have to manage those tax dollars. Oftentimes, it's not the greatest, not the funnest decisions. People are not going to get what they always want, but thank you.
Thank you. And Daryl? That was just Jeremy, correct? Did I miss Jeremy? That was Jeremy. I can't see down there. Sorry, who just went? Okay, I questioned myself. I shouldn't have done that. Jeremy, please.
So, though I feel my family and I have been quite involved in the county and the town for the last 30 plus years, I was in a position for the last 15 where I worked away from home a lot, and I couldn't have done that without the support of my family. I made an occupational change in November to support my family, much like they supported me. So with that, I felt a desire to get more involved within the happenings in the place I live, being the County of St. Paul and the town of St. Paul. And with that, during an election year, I figured what better way to get more involved than sit at this table with these great individuals up here, and then to get involved with everyone sitting here in their chairs today. So as I said in my opening, I want to continue. I appreciate the relationships that were existing and the new relationships I've made. And I want to continue, regardless of the results on the 20th. I want to continue to be a voice and a set of ears to hopefully influence what happens in the future in this county. Thank you.
Thank you. Daryl?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and thank you all for being here. Again, it's going to have to be point form to try and get this in a minute. Mark, I don't know why you apologized to me about the windmills, but whatever. A total of, everyone is using the right words here: accountability, fiscal responsibility, and transparency. In the last 6 years, some of the changes made by council, we have live stream meetings, councillor monthly pay and reports are published monthly, councillor expenses are down from $459,000 in 2019 to $238,000 last year. You could only allow 2 additional conferences. If you listened to or heard the August 19th Lakeland Today, they talked about the 7 area municipalities. We are the one that spend the least amount of time in camera and the clearest motions coming out. All public are welcome to all meetings. Few come out, usually only 2 people. Something for you to think about. We had the last AGM we had 2 people come out, a man and a wife. And tonight we have 20 candidates up here. I think educate yourselves, look at the county website, Google the county in
Thank you,
St. Paul
Daryl.
on Lakeland Today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Barnabas?
So many of you know me and know that I'm a pretty straight shooter. I'm here for the people. Your voices are relayed to county council, to the decision-making process through your councillor. We are the hands that make change, but you are the bodies that drive those hands. So at the end of the day, your vote on election day is vital, but it goes beyond that through communication in the term. We need to hear from you. We need to communicate with you. We need to be transparent with our decision-making for you. These are all ideologies that I believe and would like to put forward. So if you believe in them as well, please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, first off, I would like to thank all of the candidates for taking part tonight. It takes a ton of personal commitment to put your name forward to represent your county. So if we can all give them a big round of applause. And I want to thank everyone that came as well. It was mentioned earlier, it is excellent to see so much involvement from the community on something as important as this. On behalf of the St. Paul Chamber, we hope it's given you valuable insight into the choices that you have this election. Please remember that advance polls will be open October 10th right here and through October 9th, 10th, and 11th at the Legion in the county, and election day is October 20th. We encourage everyone to take advantage of these opportunities and make your voice heard, because your participation is vital in the strength of your community. I would also like to thank the St. Paul and District Chamber of Commerce, their volunteers and their staff for coordinating the forum for your community tonight. You do have an incredible chamber. It does speak to your strength as a business community, and you are well represented at the provincial level. For any members of the business community here this evening, I encourage you to engage with your Chamber of Commerce, because they are an extremely strong voice at both the local, provincial, and the federal level. So once again, thank you to all the candidates for sharing your perspective. Thank you for all engaging respectfully in this important democratic process. And thank you for having me. Have a wonderful evening and get home safe. Take care.